Welcome, everyone, to Ladies' #1 Detective Agency, Clearing the Paranormal. I am your host, Aimée Clark, and I'm joined today by one of my co-hosts, Bill Johnston. Janet Graham was unable to join us today. Today is March 24th, 2025, and we're now on Season 2, Episode 3, The Doberman Prophecy. This story began with a dream Bill had, and a picture I had forwarded him from one of my Reiki students, and the Doberman Prophecy I found online. We're really happy that the author, channeler of this prophecy, Quornesha Lemon, has agreed to join us today. Bill, welcome. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you.
And Quornesha, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much. I'm doing awesome.
Good. Bill, I'm so glad that you decided to share your story with everyone. I hope it will help everyone realize that we're not only given messages easily and quickly, but they're coming to us from in the most extraordinary ways. Even as this unfolded over the period of a week, more or less, we could not help but react with, "This is unbelievable, but true."
Yeah, it was quite interesting the way the whole thing laid out, which we'll actually get into from start to finish, I guess. Well, maybe not finish, but the start of it and how it all unfolded, and how you don't even realize, just in a general conversation, what the outcome's going to be, or the fact that there's unforeseen things that you find out just through general conversation. And I think we talked about it in other episodes about how things just start to come together point by point.
Mm-hmm. So let's set the scene. This all happened in December around the full moon. It sure took us a long time to get this together. It was going to be in January, but anyway. And I'm going to sidestep a little bit into the astrology for a moment, as the influences of the astrological bodies work with our human energy fields and experiences. And it just so happened all the dates that all of this occurred around, there was a full moon. So it was the December 15th full moon, which was 23 degrees in Gemini. And why does this matter, and how is it affecting us at that time? And what I asked one of my astrology friends to do is give me a little excerpt on what was happening around that full moon. And even the astrology, well, you'll hear when we connect all the dots as we go through the episode. But she said, full moon shine a light in what you are not aware of before. The sun and moon directly were opposite each other. There were lots of planets and mutable signs, so it's very chameleon-like energy. The energies were very creative, adaptable. You can see other people's point of view, feel like things are all over the place because everything's so movable, and there's a bit of instability to some degree. It's highly creative in finding solutions. Gemini is all about communication, facts, truth coming to light. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and it was stationary direct on that day. There's lots of information coming out at that time. Jupiter is in Gemini until next June, and Jupiter expands what it's moving through. So it can also feel like an overload, like too much is coming in at you. There is a T-square for the sun and moon and Neptune can give us fog. What is true, what is said, not said, or what is not, he said, she said kind of energy. And she said, listen more to your dreams, listen more to your intuition. We're going to be moving into this. Trust what pops in your mind. Keep a dream journal, recall the dream, and record. Neptune is strong, conjunct the North Node. I won't be exact until February, so we're past that. The direction of travel is spiritual, a deeper sense of own divinity, where you can recognize so much of turbulence in the energy field because the old system is collapsing. We have so much high frequency of light coming in, the higher level will collapse the lower. The amount of energy that is released is great, and in that collapse, it disintegrates, giving us the greatest potential for a step change in way of being. Everything is loosened up. One level destabilizing, have what you need to change your state. Pluto moved into Aquarius, and it will be there till January 2044. Aquarius is the future. Step into inner authority. Strong Neptune, also about compassion, unconditional love, healing, people coming together. So I'm going to give a shout out to Suzanne Bocage for giving us that information. So now back to the story. It was December 16th around 10ish in the evening. I received a text from one of my students, Sandra George, and in that text she included a picture of her dog on top of the Reiki table. It was pretty funny because she said every single time she goes to do Reiki on someone at home, the dog will not let her do a session unless he's included. And I saw this as a very big dog sprawled across the table on top of her son. It was very cute. And as a side note, animals love Reiki. And so clearly this dog was enjoying every session. The next morning, it was December 17th. And Bill and I had just finished doing some distant healing work for a client. And I had sent him the picture with the story behind it. And then, Bill, I'm just going to let you take over the story from here because this is your story.
Yeah, so we're texting back and forth, and Aimée sends me this picture, and I'm drinking my coffee, and it's I don't know, 5:45 in the morning. So I look at the picture, and then I zoom in on it, and I said, "Is that a Doberman?" And Aimée goes, "Yeah, I think so." And I said, "I had a dream about a Doberman last night." And I only know one person that has a Doberman. I've never owned a Doberman. I've always had German Shepherds or Beagles. So why I dreamt of a Doberman didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, so I'm walking along a road and I come across this guy and he has two Dobermans. And at first I kind of stop. And then the dogs, I don't know if they come running to me or I started towards them, but they were very friendly. So the dogs were very friendly. I think I patted the dogs, had small conversation. I don't really remember. And I don't generally remember my dreams in detail. And then I carried on down the road.
And that was your dream.
And that was the dream. And again, it didn't, Dobermans don't mean anything to me. I don't even remember the last time I saw, oh, I do remember the last time I saw one would have been at least a year ago, when I was visiting a friend, and he would be the only person that I know that has a Doberman.
Yeah, so there was nothing that actually brought that into your dream, because sometimes we will experience things during the day and that stuff comes into our dream. And I don't know if I shared with you, but when I told Sandra about what had happened and I told her it was two Doberman, she said, well, the Doberman that she has, she had two. And at one point in time, the other Doberman had passed. I can't remember how long ago it was that the Doberman passed. I don't think it was that long ago, but she always feels the presence of the other Doberman there. So there were two in your dream, but she said there were actually two energetically around her house. So,
Oh, it's interesting.
yeah. So then when Bill told me this, I decided to look up what it meant spiritually to dream of a Doberman. And I didn't really expect to be honest, to find anything, but why not just see what it means? So on the first search, I clicked on the first one that had come up and it just gave me an error message. And then I looked at the next one and it said the Doberman Prophecy. And I went, ooh, this looks really interesting. And I found it really intriguing. So I forwarded that on to Bill for him to read. And I thought it'd be really great to actually read the prophecy on this podcast. So Quornesha, would you be willing to read that for us? Since it's your
Absolutely.
Oh, can I ask first, Quornesha?
Uh-huh.
How long ago you wrote this prophecy?
It was in January of last year that I wrote
Okay.
it.
So a year ago. And it just came to
Mhm.
you. I don't know how you get your intuition.
Absolutely. So I remember the Dobermans when my uncle was in a police force and they had like German Shepherds. So I remember them from the first time I saw them. And then the second encounter was my neighbor who owns Dobermans. They would come over into my lawn multiple times. And so I said, what is the reason for this? And so I sat with spirit and the messages started to flow. And so that's how I got this prophecy about the Doberman.
Now, did any of that relate to your life at the time? Do you recall?
So yes, my dad transitioned last year, and I knew that he was going to transition. And so at the time my dad passed away, his heart failed him. And I already written this prophecy. So my dad passed away
Oh,
back in July last year. Hold on one second. Sorry, my kids.
that's
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
so
no problem.
yeah,
Our condolences. I'm sorry to hear that. It's hard.
yeah. Well, I kind of find strength in honoring him. Like I don't feel like he's gone. That I venerate his spirit and knowing that death was actually a gift for
Mm-hmm.
him because he was not really, how do I say without being traumatic, he wasn't loved like he should have been.
Yeah.
So I feel like death was a gift for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder if he was the man that I saw in my dream. I couldn't tell you a
Wow.
description of the man. It was an older man. That's about all I remember. I mean, I have a hard time remembering my dreams, but I just wonder, you know.
Hmm.
Could have been. I'm
Hmm.
getting truth bumps. I'm getting those goosebumps. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Quornesha, if you wouldn't mind sharing the prophecy, that would be wonderful. It's pretty
Okay.
amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to skip through the gibberish and then go right to it.
Yeah, no
So, okay.
problem.
The prophecy of the Doberman. This being is a message that if need be, this person will have a successful heart transplant. But I rewind back to the point where I says, someone you know or whom is close to you will experience a heart issue or heart issues that will be resolved. This person, this being is a message that if need be, this person will have a successful heart transplant. If the person in question is too far ill, then it is symbolic of a passing. Death is not the end, and you will overcome this grief. This is most likely a father figure or a male friend. It is confirmation that whatever you are doing right now is the backup plan. It's going to work, regardless of whose year it's going to be. If the divine gave you a word that you will be prosperous in this season, then so shall it be. This is plan A, B, C, and D. The author of it all will finish your story as this is a symbol of a changed mind and changed heart. You are anchored. Regardless if the dog is female or male, this is also a sign that you will have help from someone least expected. If you yourself have no heart issues and is some more symbolic rather than literal, and you will experience a change of heart or perspective. This is a prophecy of living in your soft era as you've been an alpha long enough. Doberman also symbolize financial transition. So if there were struggles, then this will improve and things will ease out of your way. The Doberman also represent protection from evil witches and warlocks, people who appear to love you but are jealous of you. Do not allow anyone, regardless of position, to speak ill over your life in any form. True prophets warn, speak life, and let you know of upcoming negativity so that you can change course, as necessary. The Doberman is also a sign of aging well. You are well liked by people and your introverted side will become balanced. You are empathic and you feel things about people. Animals know and recognize you. Someone, an ancestor, is watching over you. A crossroad in your life has closed and something has broken. You may find signs of broken glass to confirm this message. The broken glass isn't pertaining to mirrors, but everyday use glassware. This glass will seem to break out of nowhere, and it is a sign that there are entities nearby to validate this. You will be bold in the coming days and weeks ahead as your soul knows this is a time of elevation. You will celebrate, so keep in mind these words. Doberman are also signs that a pressing concern regarding your home will soon lift. Whether this be in general or specific to a need that you have, it's already done. The Doberman also is symbolic of nostalgia. It is a message that angels will send you confirmation to let you know something good is on the way. A big goal will be realized So pay attention to the signs and acknowledge them with a grateful heart. If you are attacked in the realm of the spirit or dreamed by this sign, seek spiritual advice or guidance.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the rest is
Mhm.
just gonna, well, I know you know this story, but we
So,
think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, this is just more than interesting. Because as the days played out, so right away, I was in the midst of preparing my home to sell. No, actually, I didn't know.
No,
This
you
was on the
didn't.
17th.
Yeah.
So on December 20th, I got a call from my lawyer. I'm going through a divorce, and I got a call from my lawyer and said, the judge says you have to sell the house forthwith. So like right now. So this is 3 days before. I'm like, wow, that's kind of interesting, that part of it. And then it
Wow.
was
It was
uh,
after.
let me
yeah, 2
try
days
to,
after.
I
Yeah,
better follow the notes here before I
Yeah.
get off track.
It's okay.
So on December 18th, a friend of mine, my cousin, I found out that he was preparing the process of a heart transplant.
Wow.
So we've known that, it could be a possibility, it might not be a possibility. It's been over
It's been
the
a few
last
years.
year or
yeah.
two. And anyway, so we were talking and he told me on the 18th that they were preparing him to get ready for a heart transplant. So that's the second
Wow.
thing. So we're out house and home deal, heart transplant. And then, so then the backup plan. And in fact, a friend of ours, astrologer, informed me a few months ago that in regards to the house and the astrology influences, that I should have a plan, but have plan B, but plan C and D as well. So I had purchased a fixer upper house in the fall to keep people working during the winter because it gets slow. So instead of laying people off, they can go work on the house. Well, as it turned out, because my house had to be sold forthwith, plan B is when this house is ready, then I can basically move into this house, which is coming soon. So yeah, there's three of the points out of the prophecy already. And I said to Aimée, I'm like, oh my God, is somebody reading my life? Like, how is this? How can this be so accurate? Next, the characteristics and changes I was experiencing in my own healing journey and the negative people in my life I was transmuting out was clearly laid out in the prophecy as well. So there's lots of changes going on.
Amazing.
On December 23rd, we'd been out of town, went and picked up my sister. And when we came back, May was emptying the dishwasher. And I heard a little scream and she began talking excitedly to me. A drinking glass was found broke in the dishwasher. Now I'm
Wow.
very,
Oh, glassware prophecy.
and I'm always very careful about putting glasses and cups in the dishwasher so they're not clanging together or whatever. Anyway, so
Right.
she's emptying it and there's this broken glass. And it's not just a broken glass, but the piece that broke out is in the shape of a pyramid, which I seem to have some
Ooh.
kind of connection to.
Mhm,
And I actually make copper pyramids
mhm.
once in a while when I have
Amazing.
time.
When he has
Amazing.
time.
But there's a couple of them floating around.
But I'm sitting there going, oh my God. He's going, what are you going on about? I said, where's that prophecy? Read it. I'm sure it's a broken glass in there. And it was glassware.
And everyday glassware, like
Everyday
it
glassware.
couldn't, like you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Again,
No.
I always say it, truth is stranger than fiction, right?
Mhm.
So for me, this was confirmation of somebody was watching over me.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us had experienced anything so directly. I hadn't anyway.
Wow.
Like I said, it was if, as if it was wrote after, a month after I'd read it. Like I couldn't believe it. So that's when May had contacted you, Quornesha.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I was so
Wow.
happy that you agreed to talk to me about the prophecy and to share. I'm glad you're willing to hear our story too and how it was connected because the whole thing was So it was just, we'd never, like, we read stuff online and you get information, but it never anything so specific. And we
Right.
just found out that your cousin is now on the list for
Yeah.
the heart transplant. So it was kind of off and
Wow.
on, and then, yeah. So, and he's quite close to, his cousin's quite a bit older, so he's quite close to, there's that fatherly figure, I guess.
Hmm.
So I think, like, Cornisha, if you could maybe share a little bit more about what you do, and tell us as much about yourself or as little about yourself as you wish, and your background and the work you do, it'd be great.
Absolutely. So, thank you for having me again. So my father's lineage is Cherokee Indian and Portuguese from his mother's side. So my grandmother on his side was a mystic. She was a seer. She could see things and tell you what was going to happen. And then my father's father was a prophet. From his Cherokee lineage, he had a lot of medicine that he would speak into the family, and he would teach us. And my father was a prophet as well. On my mother's side, she's a seer, and my grandpa on that side is a prophet as well. So the genes are very
Wow.
strong. They're very strong, and they could tell things about you that you'd be like, "What in the heck?" So so I don't have a lot of the wisdom that they had, so I kind of like have to venerate my ancestors for that wisdom, and they have to pour that into me. So a lot of my stuff is ancestry talk or spirit initiated. So I am Amadeus attuned. I am also attuned to the Earth Keeper, the Monarchy, meaning that I'm here to uplift Earth and to change it and to shift it to a new dimension, meaning that there is no race, there is no better or superior person, that we're all one. Um, and I'm also aligned with the spirit of Obia, the power of Obia, and I have a lot of Orishas. My protection is like sky high because I do so much good. I do so much good, and I try not to speak ill of people. But when spirit gives me a word, I have to say it. So I predicted a lot of tornadoes back in October. I told people, I forewarned them that there were going to be a plethora of tornadoes. Then after that, I thought I was nuts, and so God gave me some more word. Spirit gave me more word and said, go and prophesy to the people that there was going to be chaos with a hurricane. And then that hurricane ended up going to Australia. And so
Mhm. Yeah.
after that, it's like these prophecies just kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. And so I've been sharing those on Instagram. And it's like I'm sort of shocked that they're flowing so strongly. But as far as my descent, I'm a Cherokee, Portuguese, and I also have African ancestry, Haitian ancestry, as well as some stuff I'm still trying to figure out.
Mhm.
But yeah, I come from a strong background of mystics, ministers, seers, prophets, healers, people who laid hands on the sick.
Mhm.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't your mom Cherokee?
Yeah, my mom, they were doing lineages a few years back, and I think she said her mom had Cherokee in her as well. So
Mhm.
my mom's
Wow.
from Ohio. So
Wow.
I don't remember where, I'm not sure where my grandmother was from. Uh,
Hmm.
and then my grandfather, they always said it was Pennsylvania Dutch, his ancestry. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
interesting.
we're going to share in the episode notes how people can get a hold of you, but did you want to talk a little bit about some of the services that you offer if people are interested? Because you
Sure.
can reach people across the world, I would assume, with the work you do.
Yeah, yeah. So I do work across the globe, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very humbled in that ability to be able to reach into people. So I do life coaching. I do subconscious clearing, and I also do clearing of properties. I go onto the property and I cleanse it of all negative energies. I do exorcism work as well as helping people to receive their own tools, initiating and attuning other people. The last initiation I did was for a lady that went into remission for cancer. So
Wow.
I did an attunement for her with the Orishas. She was a Caribbean lady, and I tuned her to the Orishas, and I think I would say about a few months after that, she went into remission.
Wow.
And so I do a lot of work with people who are going through chaos, who are people who are going through traumatic events in their life, and they don't know where to turn. I sort of connect people with their ancestries and to help them remember that it's not demonic, it's actually in alignment with your truth already. So
Mhm.
that's the type of work that I do. And people can reach me on 88mystic88.com.
I
All
think
right.
you and Aimée are sisters.
Well, I don't get all the message. Well, I guess I do get messages, but just not in the same way.
But you do clearings.
Yeah.
So we do clearings, generally distant clearings,
Yeah.
but we've done them
Yeah.
on site property, right?
Mhm.
And, I don't
Yeah,
know,
we
there's-
tend to do them more distantly. I'd rather do that than be on site.
It's easier.
It's easier. More protective too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned there was something that you said, I can't remember how the word you used. A quiche, what was it that you attuned her to?
It was the Orishas. So the
Orishas. So what?
Orishas
Right.
are known in the Ifa, Yoruba, and as well as Santeria. So I work closely with Oya. She's the keeper of the boneyard and as well as the marketplace. So I work a lot with Oya to help people uplift their energy when it comes to business. And I work with Alegua to open roads. So these are rituals I can attune people by spirit, not by religion, to help them heal certain areas of their life. And so
Mhm.
when I did that healing, it was for 7 African Orishas. And these 7 African powers are with her for life. But
Wow.
she can always come back and attune the vibration and uplift it even more.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So as far as the prophecies go, have you ever had anybody contact you about prophecies that you put online? Do you have any stories that you can share that are similar to what happened with Bill here?
Yeah, so I get a lot of people who call me or they'll text me and say, "Girl, you were on point. You snapped in that prophecy." So I get a lot of that. And sometimes people they'll text me and say, "Oh my God, please keep doing what you're doing." Like this lady, she was going through PTSD. She was going through psychosis. And she said, "Girl, I've been reading your prophecies for years and I'm not on medication anymore." So I get
Wow.
those type of emails and calls, and people they reach out to me and say, "I was on the brink of suicide this year. Oh, I just overcame cancer." I get people who say, "I read your blog post. Please stop. Don't stop what you're doing. Don't stop it." Because and they call me in tears, like, "Please don't stop this," because this resonated with me so much that I don't think I would have moved on with my life had I not come across it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I strongly believe that, things happen when it's supposed to happen. So,
Mhm.
I mean, you had put that prophecy out, 9 months before or 6 months before
No, it was
we
a
even came
year, almost a
across
year
it.
before.
Yeah, almost a year. And then, for a mate not to be able to connect to the first search she did, but to connect to yours. And like I said, it blew me away. I'm reading it like line for line, and this all opened up in a week.
Yeah.
In a week, it all lined up exactly with your prophecy. I
Wow.
just couldn't believe it. Right?
Sorry for that.
Well, I can believe it. I
Yeah.
can believe it, but
Yeah.
it was pretty mind blowing.
And
Right?
to think that
Yeah.
we wouldn't even have looked at it. Like he
No.
would have said, well, I might have looked it up. Oh no, because you told me that you had a dream about two dogs. So I
Oh,
didn't, that's
yes.
right. So I wouldn't even have looked it up because I might have looked up what happens when you dream about a dog, right? Or what
Right.
does it mean when you dream about a
I
dog?
think I may have told you that before you sent me the picture that I had dreamt about.
Yes,
Because
you did. You
you
said,
always ask me what I dream about.
yeah, because he forgets.
So
So
I did say I dreamt about two dogs. And then you sent me the picture. And when I zoomed in, I went, oh my God, is that a Doberman? That's what I dreamt was a Doberman. So
yeah, and it was just like she sent it to me out of the blue the night before. So if you think about, and then the astrology at that time too that I read, it was like, remember your dreams. It was like everything was just about, it just seemed like the right time energetically for you to receive those messages for your own
Yes, thank you for that.
Yes.
You're welcome.
It was for your
Absolutely.
own support, I guess, and to get you to what's the word I'm trying to get? To trust and believe in the energetic spiritual help that you have behind you, especially that broken glass that blew me away. It was a piece of
Yeah.
glass, like glassware. It's like how you can't get any more clear than that, Bill. Here's the message.
Yeah, when I wrote it, I didn't think of it like second guess it or anything. I just kind of like channeled it for whoever it's for. I don't put strings attached to it,
Mhm.
um, and tell them, oh, you got to sew into this to receive it. I just do it without strings attached. And if they bless me with something in return, that's fine. If they come
Mhm.
shop in my business, that's fine. But if not, that's fine too, because I know that
Mhm.
giving I have such an expansive ability that I can't just keep it to myself. And
Right.
I'm very grateful that it helped you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
greatly.
and I just gonna go back to the prophecy itself because there was it was the way that you'd broken it down too. So in our community, everybody has their own gifts and abilities, and sometimes I get channeled information, sometimes it's for Bill, and it's a bit of a challenge.
Mhm.
Some of the stuff that I get for him. Sometimes it's for me, sometimes it's for other people. But for me, it's a different way that I receive that information. But I have other friends that are in our community and they all receive messages in some unique way.
Mhm.
So when I read through yours, like the way you titled it was Work With Me, and the first part was Deliverance Work from Soul Ties. Then you had Work With Me, Archangel Michael, and then it was Work With Me, Spirit Replacement Therapy.
Mhm.
And there was another one too, Marie Laveau.
Marie Laveau.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wondered if maybe because people might go and look at this. So are you able to give us a little bit more information around why it was broken down that way and what it means?
You talking about the prophecy itself or the
Yeah.
services?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the prophecy.
So I broke it down this way because I listen to spirit and I don't question. I just put it out there the way that they show me. And I get these pieces of visions that say, or sometimes it's a whole movie and it'll show me broken glass. Like it'll be as though I'm there experiencing it. So when I got the Doberman prophecy, I was remembering the dogs next door. The dogs also came in my dream. Her specific dogs came into my dream, and I saw the collars, and I was like, "What do you want? What is it? What's the message?" And so they stopped coming when I delivered this prophecy. They stopped coming over to my property.
Oh,
Period. So I felt like they needed something to manifest through me, which is why they came to trespass on my property. And me and the neighbor got into a fissy fit about it at the time, but I had to put all these pieces together in just channeling it and not allowing myself to be limited by what I saw and just kind of like diving deep into it. And then when I got to the heart part, my heart started to like get pain in it. And so and then spirit told me that whoever this prophecy is for, they're going to get a new heart, a new heart. So I started to channel that. And then when it came down to the parts about the new home or the plans being in alignment, I heard A, B, C, D, E, and then that's what I put into the prophecy. And then when it comes to the home, I saw that things were going to get better. Like I heard music in my ears that things were going to get better. And so I put that into the prophecy. So all these pieces of the puzzle came together when I sat down to channel. And even with an ancestor watching over you, like before my dad transitioned, I saw an eagle right along with this Doberman. And my dad, he's a symbol of eagles. And so I knew that at the time that my dad's heart would fail. When my dad passed, his heart died. And at first, it was 2 days before that, his heart failed him a couple of times. And so it's like it aligned with that very prophecy and how I felt in that moment with my heart just pounding. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm not old. Why is my heart hurting so bad? As if somebody's taking it out of my chest and putting a new one in. It was that much pain. And so I had to put all these details in there. And no matter what I thought, no matter how I felt, I just did it.
Mhm.
Oh, interesting. You mentioned the Eagles, and I have to go back to that because it was late fall.
August, September, I think, September. So it would have been 3 months
Prior.
before, yeah.
So I'm in my house and we're getting it all cleaned up, ready. Anyway, in the house, and I hear this
I'm outside.
eagle screech.
Mhm.
I run outside and I look, and I'm looking up in the trees now. And the area I live, it's pretty private. So I get lots of animals around there. I get foxes and groundhogs and rabbits but I had never seen eagles there. So anyway, I look up in this pine tree and there's this bald eagle. So I take a picture,
Mm.
I took the
or
picture.
May took a picture. So she takes a picture, and anyway, I go, let's go upstairs on the second floor. It was right outside the bedroom window. So anyway,
Uh-huh.
just before we went up there, we see this other eagle fly away that was just below it, about 4 feet below
Well,
our
we didn't
branch,
know that at
but
the
we
time.
hadn't seen
Yeah.
it. So we're watching the one that's sitting there, and then we see one fly away, and I'm like, oh, we didn't even notice that one. So we go upstairs and we're looking out the bedroom window, and I mean, now we're 25 feet away from this bald eagle, and it's sitting up there grooming itself, and we're taking
There for like
pictures.
10 minutes.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
was incredible. And then
Mhm.
finally it flew away. So we're looking at the pictures, and I'm like, geez, it would have been nice to get a picture. And we're looking at the pictures, and clearly in the picture, you can see the other one sitting on the branch below.
Wow.
But again, I had not seen bald eagles there on my property. I know they're there they're at the lake. They're not very far away, but I'd never seen them there before. So, I mean,
Yeah,
and
and
part of your
we've seen them
prophecy,
on the trails and
yeah, part of your prophecy talks about animals. I
Mhm.
mean, I like animals, they tend to like me.
Mhm.
And I mean, I've got a few messages from now the bald eagles,
A lot
but
of
prior to
birds.
that,
birds.
3 years ago, it started with owls. So,
Mm.
and I was seeing owls consistently until I got through a period, and then I didn't see them anymore.
Yeah, it was all about his
Wow.
transition and transformation
Wow.
and the eagles we had seen 2 years before that. We were up north of here, doing something on one of the reserves, and
Mhm.
we were doing a special project up there, and we were canoeing out to this round lake and a round lake. And we were doing this for one of my friends, who's from that community. And we we canoed past this one point, and I saw an eagle flying across, and I looked, and there was another eagle sitting in the tree. So there were two eagles. So we canoed all the way out to this round lake. We did what we were supposed to do there. Then we're coming back. And I said, look, Bill, that eagle is still there. And as soon as we went
Mm.
past it, it flew away and it joined the other one. And they were just going around in the air just until we actually beached the canoe. And I texted my friend as soon as I saw the first eagle on our way out. And she said, yes. She said, I asked the eagles to come to protect you. And it was just like, oh my God,
Wow.
like so mind blowing, all of these things.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's very,
So again, I would wonder, and I guess you will too, if that was maybe your dad that came to bring me that message.
I think so because my dad, he was in comatose state before he passed. Like he was in and out, in and out. And that was because every time I try to go visit my dad, spirit would sit me down and said, you got work to do. And so I would go in and I would do shamanic work to wake him up. And and when I did the first time, Spirit told me that this was just to get him to say his last words. And the window would open up for me to go and see him. And then he went back into comatose state. And it's like, okay, This time he may not come out. When he came out the next time, I did it again. I did the shamanic healing again. When he came out this time, he was not able to talk.
Mhm.
His voice was gone. And so my dad came to sit on my bed at that time. And he said, why won't you help me? Why won't you help me stay here? I said, Dad, if I helped you to stay, I've helped you for years. My dad's been sick for over 20 years. So I said, if I help you stay, then that's going to throw off the balance and other people are going to die who's not in that order.
Mhm.
So when dad would stay longer, they gave him a day. They gave him actually a week, I'm sorry, a week to live. And he lived to be a whole year older than what they said. And
Wow.
so when he did, children started to die in the family. And so I think after the first death, some other kids had gotten sick. And so I think after that one, that's when dad went. He left at that time. So I believe you when you say maybe he visited you in the dream because dad had that kind of power where he could go into different realms. So he possibly did visit you
Mhm.
in that dream.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you got the prophecy and he delivered it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's 717 right now. That's dad. That's the day that dad died.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. That's
You
that's
so
can't make
insane.
cool.
this stuff up.
No.
Wow. So Quornesha, because I mean, you agreed to be talk to us, which I'm just so thrilled about. Is there anything else that you wanted to share? Any stories? Anything else about your services?
The stories. Okay, so I can't I would say a little bit personal about me is that I don't like to be in crowds. Like I can be in front of a crowd, I can teach in front of a crowd, but after a while I'm like, okay, I gotta go rest because absorb so much energy or I absorb so much energy at one time. And then I'm always picking up on energy wherever I go. But my services benefit off that sensitivity. I'm super sensitive in the spirit. And so um the services that I do helps people tap into their own sensitivity. It's like I'm there to awaken them to their own intuition, their own prophetic ability. Um, and then me in my personal life, um, my shamanic journey started when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
And I would see the zodiac signs up the wall. And I didn't understand at the time what was going on. I saw this crab, I saw these fish, I saw these tigers. I'm like, what is this? Like, so it started at a very young age for me. And because of the lineage I come from, it kind of strengthened along the way. And it happened at 12 where I went to church and my prophetic gifts just took off at that time. It's like, okay, boom, you're it. You're the one. You're the one in the family that's going to deliver this message. You're the one who's going to carry the legacy. And sometimes that mantle can be very heavy because
Mhm.
you're here breaking curses for people that don't even like you, breaking curses for family that don't even associate with you. So it could get very heavy at times. So for a while, I thought of it as a curse, but now I see it as a blessing.
Mhm. And did you have your father or any of your other gifted family members there to kind of mentor you and help you along the way?
My dad mentored me a lot.
You did.
So my dad would have me to read the Bible a lot when we were younger. And the Bible itself is a magical grimoire. So and anybody can have access to it. Um so dad would have me go into these scriptures and read them. And then when we would read them, things would happen. Like he would have me read a specific particular scripture, and what we read on would manifest like moments later. No kidding.
Wow.
It was wild.
Mm.
So dad was a conjure man in a sense, and a bishop. He was able to command things in the spirit. So yeah, I watched my dad lay hands on a crippled girl when I was a little child. And that little crippled girl started to walk. Like
Wow.
I would say weeks after that, that little girl started to walk.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm.
All right. So anything else that anyone wants to share or talk about, ask questions about?
I don't know. I think we could probably chat all night. It kind of just fall right into our friend group,
Mhm,
definitely.
mhm.
And some of our friends are like Dawn and Suzanne. Suzanne's the astrologer and Dawn is a medicine man.
Mhm.
Wow.
So, and then Janet is
Janet.
clairvoyant, speaks to spirit all the time, and she's just got to blurt it out. She's like, I
Mhm.
can't hold it in. I have to tell you.
And she's just funny. It's too bad she couldn't have been here tonight, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyway,
So
I
it's
keep
really
looking
nice.
behind your head. I keep looking behind your head. I'm sorry.
that's
Oh
okay.
yeah, behind my head or
Yeah.
his head?
No, no, no. Oh my God. There's like a raven spirit behind you. A raven spirit.
Are
And
you
like
serious? So,
a reaper raven spirit behind you.
so the property that I bought
Oh yeah.
is a what do you call it?
It's called, it's in the architecturally, it looks like a bird. Like
A
when you're,
raven.
the
Wow.
way it's a raven, and the person who
It was an
had,
estate
it
sale.
was an estate sale, the person who owned it called it Raven Oak.
Oak.
And it is so, I know, I'm getting goosebumps just
So
thinking.
when you said that, I'm thinking Raven Oak. So yeah, and even though I'm fixing it up, I mean you can't. It's such a unique floor plan. I'll have to get Aimée to send you the floor plan, but it is shaped like a bird. When you look at it, it is
Mhm.
shaped like a bird, and Raven Oak, and the head is pointed north. So there is
Wow.
meaning to that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
Wow. Yeah.
it's interesting that you're saying you can see the raven behind me.
And it faces
Yeah.
the lake. It faces the, like, well, sorry, not the front of the house, the back of the house. And it's, I said to Bill, it's like an optical illusion. It looks like it's, when you're there, it feels like you're really high up. But when you drive by the road, it's kind of, you have to know that it's there. But when you look from the road, it looks really low to the ground, but you can see the lake, and there's a beautiful creek running through it as well.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Mm.
so it's cool that
Yeah.
you see Raven, because
So everybody
Yeah.
tells me, "Oh, you're gonna stay there," and I'm like, "No, this is just a project. It's just plan B." So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I may stay there. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, you may come and go from the property. Like I feel like it's more of a vacation spot.
No, I can't. No, that wouldn't be. It would have to be either permanent. Right now, I'm coming and going because we're working on it,
Mhm.
but I
Hmm.
don't think it'll be. I think I'll either,
Anything can happen though.
part ways
You
with
just
it.
never know.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anything could happen.
Anything that's happened over the last few, since you've met me, how can you even say, like,
Yeah, things that have happened that.
if someone had told you like 8, 9 years ago that you would be here now having these conversations, you would have said, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah, probably.
Um, and I think that's everything, unless Quornesha, um, is there anything else that you wanted to add at all?
Uh, I feel your energy, like you're clearing the spirit. So yeah,
Thank you.
I I feel that energy. Like you're connected to spirit, like even African spirit.
Really? Wow, that's
Yeah.
the first time I've heard that one. That's cool.
I don't know why, but it's like even African spirit is there. Like maybe you have some type of genetic code that maybe you're some percentage of black. I don't know, but
Could
that's
be.
there.
Yeah, could be. Hmm,
She's alien.
I'm alien. You're funny. Well, Quornesha, I really hope that we can have you again on another podcast. You never know
Oh
what's
my
going
God,
to
that's funny.
happen, and we certainly will, if with your permission, we'll keep in touch and let you know how things progress, because I feel like this prophecy is just going to keep on unfolding itself. But I think for Bill, it was so powerful, and it came at a time when he really needed to have concrete, like everyday human proof that this was actually, wasn't just airy fairy stuff.
No, it wasn't close. It
Yeah.
wasn't like it was, oh, it could be interpreted as this or could be interpreted as that. And it wasn't dragged out over a year. This was like
Mhm.
within a week.
Mhm.
Everything
Mm,
point to
wow,
point, like I say. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
wow.
Yeah, if something you have an interesting story at some point, and you want to come back and share that with
Mhm.
us.
Or you have some
Okay.
other interesting experiences that you'd like to share, that would be wonderful. Okay, well, and Bill, thank you for being so willing to share such a personal story. And I'd like to thank all of our followers and listeners. Please like, share, subscribe. And in our next episode, if we can get it all organized, we're going to have two wonderful guests, Monica and Richard. Monica's a psychic, among other things, and Richard is a channeler, among other things. And they operate Heart of Unity in Palmer Rapids, Ontario. And everyone that is listening, have yourself a great day or night wherever you are. Say goodnight, Bill.
Good night.
Good night.
If you could stay on, that would be great. Okay. Good night, everyone. Take care.